Post-USS Championships podcast, Fabi. It's been about a couple of weeks since we last chatted in this setting. I was right here when we made our nice, beautiful, exclusive tier list. And I think we did fairly okay. I don't remember exactly where we put everybody, but we can definitely check it out. One thing is for sure, we did quite well on the title holders. Congrats. Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Won it, I would say, quite handily. At the end, it was a point and a half ahead of the field, but it wasn't easy. Definitely was not easy. It felt a bit similar to the last championships, where you started very strong, scored a lot of points, and then kind of slowed down towards the end. But what was your experience like?
Yeah, I think it was overall pretty good. It wasn't easy for sure. I mean, last round could have gone different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wasn't so sure. I knew that like normally my chances should be pretty good by the numbers going into the last round, but like somewhere out of the opening, I would have maybe put odds more at like a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really thought a Wonder had very serious chances to win.
That's in the last round.
Yeah, the last round against Lanier, playing A3 on the first move. Actually quite remarkable that you can play A3 against top player and get serious winning chances out of the opening almost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it all worked out in the end quite well. And weird tournament, of course. I mean, we spoke a bit before, all the weird things that went on. Okay, player leaving the tournament halfway through always makes it, the standings a bit funny. So we had like a 6-way tie for second. Also very unusual with +1. Everyone tied for second. Wesley also did score +1, but it counted as 50%. So he got 8th place with 50% without losing a game. 8th place without losing a game. Pretty bizarre, but
that's brutal.
Yeah.
That is absolutely
but to be honest, he
brutal.
didn't create any chances, so he was never in the fight for first anyway.
Never felt like he was even trying to create chances, at least from his opening choices. Even against you, it felt like he didn't want too much.
Yeah, he got some advantage. I mixed up the opening lines a bit.
Oh yeah, that was a scary one. Because
Yeah.
Did he surprise you with this Queen B3? Was that?
Yeah, I mean, such a forgotten line.
I
It's
sometimes
funny because
played
like
that against you in Blitz. I like
Yeah,
that
but,
with Queen B3.
No, it's just so forgotten. Like the last time I checked it was probably like at least a year, maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, Andregan used it to beat Gukesh. Got similar endgame.
Yeah.
So
Which one is it? So this one, yeah, D4, Knight F6. Bishop B4, the Rogozin, and this Queen B3. What's the idea of this Queen B3?
I mean,
Like, what's the only idea behind this Queen B3?
I mean, you put the question to the bishop immediately. So compared to Queen A4, Knight C6, the queen is definitely better placed on B3 in case of Knight C6. So black has some moves like A5. You don't want to give the bishop immediately, so C5 is standard response. A lot of theory here. And then like so at this moment I was kind of trying to remember the theory of the line.
Mm-hmm.
And now looking at it from the white side, I'm like, again,
Doesn't look that bad, does it?
no, it's possible. It's possible. Wait, so what's the line?
Did you go H6?
No, H6 is a move. Queen A5.
Queen E5, yeah. Bishop takes.
Bishop F6, DC4,
Take,
Queen
take.
C4, GF6, Rook C1,
Mm-hmm.
Queen C5, Queen H4. Queen F4 is also a move. And normally I play King E7 first,
Yes.
and then White makes the move. I take in Queen B4. I more or less remember that. But then I started to think, okay, I'll take in Queen B4 first, and I had this like weird. I spent a lot of time on it. Weird thought in my memory, like I've seen this position before. And I convinced myself that I'd seen it before. Of course, I haven't seen it before. And here White has like some various tries connected to the move F3, which I think we both just missed that this move even exists, which is very dangerous.
His king basically
And then
has to
surprisingly,
go for a walk.
Black is probably okay in this position. Like, White takes a pawn, and then
Tries to go for H4, get a knight back.
6, something like this. And then somehow Black has like decent compensation.
Makes sense. I mean,
Yeah,
this knight is kind of stuck.
Makes
yeah.
sense. So it wasn't like a disaster.
Yeah.
But he had to test me this way.
Anyway,
Anyway,
he
so
didn't. He took on B4.
yeah, and then it was kind of solid, more or less solid draw. But the same endgame, Gukesh did lose against Andregan, so it had some poison.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeah, well, okay, Wesley
And maybe that's why he took on b4. Perhaps he analyzed the endgame.
probably,
and then he was like,
probably wanted the
I know
endgame.
something in the endgame, and then
Yeah.
went for it. Yeah, that makes sense.
But then the way that he played the endgame was very straightforward, and he wasn't really like I thought if he tries to. He basically got this position without any rooks.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. This pawn structure.
Yeah, this pawn structure, knight on d2, something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly. And more or less, I mean, probably like here. And I thought, okay, he puts his knight on e3, and then he tries to play around.
Yes.
Okay, this is a weakness, so I'm more or less passive, and I was thinking, like, we get something like this, I guess, and then I was thinking, okay, I'll play a5 at some moment, maybe provoke b4, trade pawns, and then, like, if we get this type of position at some point,
How worried were you about this?
Not too worried.
Not too worried, yeah.
I thought, like, I almost always hold this, but okay, there's some potential. Like, if these get traded, then yeah, it gets very unpleasant. So I don't know. I wasn't super excited.
Yeah.
Let's say, but then he went for like quick f4 plan, and we got this structure instead. More or less, like it was kind of this position, I think, but I didn't play. I played like king. I think his knight was f3. I played like here. I think it was exactly his position.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Here, here, and then we got like this structure, and it became a little bit too simplified.
That was a good move. You cannot go knight g6, or at least you shouldn't go knight g6.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I mean, at first I thought this would just be like an easy draw, and then I guess something here, 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 and then I realized that okay, he can play it forever.
And he did.
Yeah, he can play it
play
forever. First I was like, okay, how can I have problems here in general? Like, the only difference in the structure is this. I mean, my pieces are good, but yeah, he played it forever. Eventually, it was a draw.
Yeah, in the studio, we actually thought that this game will be over. I think at some point you guys were like repeating with knight g6, knight e5, some checks, and then I thought.
Okay, he was trying to triangulate, so
right.
he was trying to play on.
I really thought that you guys are going to find the repetition. Also, from the body language, it felt like he wasn't playing for a win, but I guess he was.
He was, yeah, he wasn't too excited, but he was playing for a win.
Yeah, yeah. So that was a good hold. Definitely a good hold. And obviously the last round, going into that one, half a point. Actually, let's talk about the game against the Wonder, because that one was a bit flimsy.
Yes, I played very stupidly. You know what's weird? It's like very unnerving when your opponent plays so quickly, quite good moves, and you just feel kind of stupid. Because the guy is playing really, really quickly and outplaying me. I feel like an idiot. But that's his style. Every game he was playing quickly, sometimes with some accidents. Like, he has a generally high level that he keeps.
Yes.
Playing quickly. And I think mostly because his positional feeling is good.
Yes.
So when it's positional, when it's not very dynamic, then even if he plays more or less instantly, he can play like between first and third line of engine. Like,
yes, very decent, very decent.
Then when it gets very, very dynamic and concrete, suddenly he should be spending more time.
That's what he did against Ray Rawson. That's how he lost. And to be honest, that's kind of how he lost against Linear as well. He was trying to make simple moves, and he didn't realize G5 is coming.
Yeah, I mean, he put his pieces perfectly in line for G5,
yes.
D3, Rook C2.
Yes.
So yeah, after G5, I didn't know that if Linear was winning, but I realized that like Linear is certainly not worse anymore.
Yeah.
It turns out he was actually winning at that moment. So that also took the pressure off me. I was like, Linear.
I could see it on camera. Like, you kind of relaxed almost.
I kind of already felt like Linear is probably like out of the opening. I thought things are going really long, but the more the game went on, and then the time equalized, I was like, okay, probably Linear will hold this.
Yeah, yeah.
He's quite resilient, and after the initial like disaster for him.
How worried do you think he was? Did you get to speak with him after the game?
No. But of course he must have been worried, and his position was clearly very bad. So, yeah, Linear recovered +1.
+1 after -2 in the first.
-2 and getting literally checkmated against Sam.
Against Sam
Shanklin.
Ah, Shanklin, yeah. How he survived that one, holy smokes.
It was like forced mate in 8 or something. Ridiculous.
How did he survive that one? No, he had an interesting event. Even the ones that he won, they were not very straightforward, actually. Clearly not very straightforward. The one against Sam Sevian, the one against the Wonder, obviously very shaky, Linear. But in the end, he somewhat proved his class by being resilient, I guess.
I think he gained a bit of rating.
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, no.
Or more or less broke even maybe. And considering the start, I think he should be not too unsatisfied. Anyway, let's get the tier list up and see.
Yes.
Review.
Yes. Let's
Because
review.
I more or less remember, but not perfectly. By the way, I'm glad that you've been talking to Yasser so much.
Yes.
Who's driving you guys?
I cannot tell you.
Oh, okay.
That's part of the appeal of the videos.